The epic soundtrack of humanity, a teen's guide to music history. Once upon a time, in a world not unlike our own, there was a secret society known as the Keepers of the Melody. This wasn't your average club of musicians. These were the guardians of music's mighty history, the ones who knew every riff, every beat, and every symphony that ever was. In the heart of this society stood the grand library of harmonic knowledge, a place where the walls were lined with ancient manuscripts and the air vibrated with melodies from ages past. Here, the keepers studied the art of musicology, the science of all things musical, from the banging drums of ancient tribes to the electric buzz of rock and roll. But what is musicology, you ask? It's like being a detective, but instead of solving crimes, you're unraveling the mysteries of music. You could be deciphering a dusty old manuscript to find a lost composition or analyzing the beats of a pop song to see what makes it tick. The keepers were especially fond of something called historical musicology. It's like regular musicology, but with a time travel twist. They'd zoom through history, exploring different types of music. One day they might be grooving to the rhythms of Nigerian music, and the next they'd be headbanging to the history of rock. Their methods were many and magical. They practiced paleography, reading ancient notes as easily as text messages. They engaged in philology, ensuring every musical text was as perfect as the original composer intended. And they loved iconography, studying paintings and sculptures to see how music fit into the big picture of history. The keepers' work wasn't just for fun. They wrote articles that other keepers peer-reviewed, published books that filled the shelves of the Grand Library, and even helped create new editions of musical works so that future generations could enjoy them. Now, you might think that learning about music history is something only old folks do, but you'd be wrong. Even the youngest keepers, still in their high school years, got in on the action. They learned about the greats like Mozart and Beethoven, and even the not-so-greats who still had a beat that could make you tap your feet. In the Grand Library, there were courses for everyone. Some were short and sweet, like a catchy pop song, while others were long and complex, like a grand symphony. They covered everything from the Middle Ages to the latest viral hit. But the keepers knew that music history wasn't just about facts and dates. It was about the stories, the drama, and the people behind the music. They studied the lives of composers, the way music was performed, and even how music played a role in society. They looked at music through different lenses like sociology and semiotics to understand not just the notes, but the meaning behind them. They explored how music intersected with race, class, gender, and even politics. The keepers knew that music was a powerful force, one that could bring people together or tear them apart. It was a language that everyone spoke, even if they didn't realize it. But not all was harmonious in the world of music history. There were debates and controversies, like whether the keepers should only focus on the fancy art music of Western elites, or if they should also jam out to the popular tunes that everyone loved. Some keepers thought that music should be studied in isolation, like a precious gem in a museum, but others, like the radical new musicologists, argued that music was part of the fabric of life, intertwined with everything from our deepest emotions to our social struggles. The keepers also faced the challenge of notation, the system of writing down music. Some thought that the score was the be-all and end-all, the perfect representation of a musical piece. But others realized that music was more than just dots on a page. It was about the performance, the energy, and the spirit. As the keepers delved deeper into music's past, they discovered that their work was never done. There was always a new mystery to solve, a new melody to uncover, and so they continued their quest, guided by the belief that understanding music's history was key to unlocking its future. And that, dear friends, is the story of the Keepers of the Melody, the unsung heroes who keep the music playing through the ages. So, the next time you listen to your favorite song, remember that it's part of a much bigger story, one that stretches back through time and continues to be written with every note.